Hi there, welcome to Elle Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we're going to be doing my 2023 year in review. I'm gonna have several sections of different kind of favorites and like most colored in and most used supplies and all kinds of different things. I will break it up by subject so that you can kind of skip through the different chapters of the video if you'd like to kind of move around. Yeah, I'm just going to be sharing all of my thoughts from throughout the year and some stats and different things. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's get started. All right, so our first section today is my most favorite tools of the year. Nothing groundbreaking here. These are, regular tools that a lot of people use, but these are the ones that I have been really enjoying using. So first, my most beloved electric eraser. It's handy for everything. It's a good one. This Derwent one I've had for quite a while. This is the battery operated one. I also have another one that's a rechargeable one that I keep upstairs when I'm coloring up there. Derwent's a good brand. I know it's a little pricier than some of the other ones, but I've not had any issues with this guy. So it's been with me for, I don't know, going on 4 years, maybe 3 years. I don't know, but it's lasted and I like it. Next are my water brushes. I really like these Arteza push button ones. I think Derwent makes some like this as well that I've heard good things about. And then I also really like the Pentel ones. So this one has a really fine tip. Yeah, these are my two favorites. I think everybody has a preference with water brushes, but I feel like if you go with more name brand water brushes, you're going to have better luck. I know, again, you're looking to save money here and there, but cheaper prices also mean cheaper product. So sometimes it's not worth it, because then you buy it and it lasts for, 2 months and then breaks, and then you're just kind of out that money anyway. So I always feel like going with a brand that you trust is always a good bet. So these are the ones that I use. Next is my Creative Companion. I love this thing. I use it. I've used it almost every month this year. You can kind of see I'll do a flip through and just kind of show you how I've been keeping track of all of my stuff all year. And then I've used it as, in a creative way too. So it's been really fun to use all year. And it's super helpful. I already have my one for next year. I'll be doing a little video about that setup too, probably right at the start of the new year, just so you guys can see how I set up my companion. But yeah, love this tool. This is one of my favorites. Another one is stencils, and in concert with this paper tape. So this is mint tape, M-I-N-T, mint tape, and I get it on scrapbook.com. It comes in different sizes, but I just have this one. I think this one was a free roll that I got at some point, and then I kind of fell in love with it. So now I have lots of different sizes all over the place. But the difference between the paper tape and like washi tape, this still has about the same stickiness as washi tape, but it doesn't peel up your page. I've not had any instances where that happens. And the surface is really good for like if you want to stamp or use ink. It soaks into the tape, but it doesn't like sometimes on washi tape it has that slick surface. So I've had accidents where I've actually like gotten ink on my hands because I brushed it over that surface and the ink was still sitting on top. That doesn't happen with the paper tape here. So I really like this. And then stencils. So something as simple as a circle stencil, which is, I love this one. I use this one a lot this year. Here's one that is, you probably can't see it very well. Hopefully that's a little better. There's a nice little hexagon one. This one is a cool one. This is a layering stencil. And a lot of these I get through like my scrapbook or card making websites when I'm shopping for those, because I also use stencils a lot in my card making. But this one is a heart bokeh, and I used this one this year on a page with some chalk pastel, and it turned out really cute. You can kind of still see all the pink that I didn't clean off of it. I didn't do that very well at all. But you use one stencil and then you lay this one right over top of it, and it kind of creates this bokeh effect, and it's really neat. And then I've also used this giant stencil. Like this is like a 12 by 12 or something like that. Yeah, almost a 12 by 12 stencil, but I used it just for like part of a background in a big open page, and really ended up liking the way that looked. So you can use all kinds of stencils. They're so fun. You can use your inks, you can use paint, you can use chalk pastel. That's one of my favorite ways to do it, because it's just such a soft, pretty look. But yeah, I love stencils. And then my favorite tool that I used quite a bit this year is Pinterest. I love using Pinterest. It's just one of my favorite ways to get inspiration, to get color palettes, to get, you can look up, like type in, if you're looking for a Hannah Carlzon page with a squirrel on it, you can just type in Hannah Carlzon squirrel, and a lot of the times you'll get some results, and it might be the exact page you're looking for. And it's nice because then you kind of get an idea of how other people have colored it. So if you're like completely stumped on a page and you don't know what to do, like Pinterest is my go-to every time. So yeah, so Pinterest is probably my most favorite tool that I've used this year. Okay, so next we're going to talk about my most used supplies. Okay, so these are some of my most used supplies this year. First is probably not a surprise to a lot of you, are alcohol markers. I use these a ton, especially on any kind of single-sided images or Amazon paper images. They just help my pages go so much faster. A lot less time spent doing pencil work that way for me. And yeah, it just makes my pages much more enjoyable, and I don't have like the hand pain from trying to blend everything over and over and over to get solid coverage. The alcohol marker just makes it go so much faster. And you can tell mine are well loved. Like they're messy. I probably should clean them a little bit better, but yeah, they're well loved and well used. And yeah, I don't have full sets of either of these. So I kind of use what I have available and kind of fill in gaps where I can. I did see that you can get, you've always been able to order individual pens of Copics, but I did find on the Ohuhu site that you can do individual Ohuhu markers as well. So if you're running out of a specific one, they do have a selection available that you can get individual markers. So check out ohuhu.com and you can order your markers, which I have a plan to do here soon. My next most used supply are my Derwent ink tents. Specifically in one book that I've been coloring just a whole bunch lately, these have been so much fun. They are just fabulous pencils. You don't need a huge set of them because I know these are a little pricier, but they're just my favorite. The nicest thing about these, I think, is the capability of the fact that it's permanent. So once you put it on there and wet it and activate it with the water, it's not going anywhere once it dries. Like you can then come back over top of it with other things, and you can add stickles, you can add Posca, you can add watercolor, anything, and it's not going to bleed through like white Posca or white paint. And you can, like I said, add things on top of it, like the stickles won't absorb the color. And it's just really, really nice. And I love these pencils. And yeah, they're my favorites. And you can tell, again, these are well used and well loved. The next one would be stickles. We were just talking about this. I love to use stickles. I have a range of colors. I typically use these two colors, which are sitting right here. So I think this one is, I think one is crystal and one is diamond, but I can never remember which one is which, or maybe it's not crystal. Stardust. No, that's another one. That's a different one too. I don't remember which is which. Okay, so I think this one's icicle, maybe. One is diamond, stardust. So stardust has all the colors. This one has more green reflections, and this one has more like the warmer tone, so like red, yellow, orange reflections. Yeah, I use these regularly, and I typically use them just for a little bit of sparkle. Like I said, I do have a range of colors that I have as well, but I don't always use those. I typically go with the clear ones. Also, for a bit of sparkle, I have been loving using my Cosmic Shimmer metallic watercolors. I have a set of 3 of these that I routinely use. This palette is the most used because it's got like really good golds, a pretty bronze, a couple good silvers here. And this one is, yeah, this one is definitely well loved. Yeah. Love these a lot. You can use any kind of metallic watercolor, but those are the ones that I found that I like the best. Paint pens. I love my Poscas. I have never had a problem with Posca. They've always worked for me. I use white Posca, I think, on every single page. And it's always done what it needed to do. When I need a colored paint pen, I do have a set of Artistro paint pens that I will sometimes reach for, and I do have a set of pastel Posca that I will also use on occasion. But every other paint pen that I've tried is just not up to par. I've heard some good things about Tule Art, which I have a set, but I've not used it in a really long time, and I think I might have messed them up because a couple of them just won't work anymore. I don't know if it's probably user error. Like, I have no doubt. But these are the ones that I found that I can go back to over and over and over, and they work. Like this one takes a lot more shaking, and a little bit more care in like using it and stuff. The Poscas work always for me. I've been really lucky, I think, with the Poscas. But yeah, so paint pens are a must for me. Those are one of my favorite supplies. And then pencils, more pencils. These are probably my go-to pencils, my Prismacolors, my Black Widows, depending on what paper I'm using. A lot of the times I will use my Prismacolors to go over top of my alcohol markers, and that's my favorite combination for any kind of Amazon paper. Coloring books, they just work the best for me. I can sometimes get my Black Widows to work on Amazon paper, but usually it's a little bit more of a struggle for my hand. But over the long run, I can get them to work. But I've found I really love the color range from the Black Widows, so I kind of, deal with it or take more breaks or, whatever. I do really love these pencils. And then recently, I just started to rediscover my love for Polychromos. They're just awesome pencils. I know that, again, especially here in the US, they're a little pricey, but they're so worth it. I love them so much. So yeah, so those are some of my favorite pencils. And then last but not least are my soft pastels. These are the Mungyo soft pastels. These are super budget friendly. I love these. It's just a bunch of little rectangles of chalk pastel. And I use them for backgrounds. I use them to color with. I use them all kinds of ways. And they're one of my favorite supplies, and I don't think my coloring would be the same without them. So yeah, so those are all of my most used supplies in 2023. Okay, so this year I did have a year-long color along to color in the Johanna weekly planner, Johanna Bassford weekly planner. And I started off the year really good. I really did. But the last couple months have just fallen away, and I started to get upset with myself about it, but Finn just was like, it's okay. It's okay. to not finish. It's all right. But I really have several favorites in here that I want to share with you guys. So these are my top, I don't know, 8 or 9 in this book that I've done this year. So the first one is this one. I really liked the way that this ended up looking. I used my Marco Raffine pencils and some chalk pastel in the background. I don't know if you can even see the chalk pastel at this point. It's kind of faded a little bit, but I just thought it was so pretty. This just really subtle purple snowflakes in the background and these really beautiful colors. Marco Raffine pencils are super good for very light pastel coloring. They don't have a ton of pigment in them, so it's kind of hard to get really super vibrant colors, but you know, if you want something light and soft, they're perfect for that. And just really, really liked the way that this one ended up looking. So that's the first one. The next one is this one. So it's a little bit opposite. These ones were the Coloria, the Imaginor Coloria pencils. And these ones were super vibrant. These are a nice budget pencil as well. So, yeah, it just turned out really cute. I was pleasantly surprised when I colored this because I'd used those pencils in other books and didn't get quite the same results. So I don't know what it was about this particular paper that worked really well. But I thought that just turned out so fun and vibrant and just beautiful. So there's that one. Next was this one. So these were my Lyra Rembrandt pencils. Again, another pencil that I don't use very often. I haven't used very often, and I did not enjoy the process of coloring this page. However, I really like the tone, like the limited color palette's really good, and it turned out really pretty. Like I do like the way that it looks in the end, but it was just a pain getting to that point. But yeah, I think it turned out to be a really cool page. I love this little tree frog hidden down here, and the background is really cool. The way it blends together really was a surprise. Was nice when I was doing the background because that's all pencil. Yeah, I was not going to do a whole pencil background, but then I decided to go ahead and do it and just like the way that it looks. So yeah, so there's that one. The next one is this one. So this one's super busy, but I think it turned out pretty cool. I really like the way that it ended up looking. I don't love the fact that I did the gold around the door. So then I went over it with silver, and now it's kind of a mix of gold and silver, but it's okay. I like the pink leaves kind of mixed in. I like the purple and pink throughout. I really like my mouse and ivy. I think they turned out really cute. And just, yeah, like I enjoyed this page. I wanted a different kind of tree. I didn't want just like super dark brown and green leaves everywhere. So I did this light color, and there's like pink and purple like on the wood too. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. And then I wanted pink and purple leaves. I don't know why I decided that. I just did. And then I drew in these fun clouds in the background, these like cartoony clouds. Yeah, just really had a good time with that page. The next one is this one. Now it's really simple. It just is pretty for some reason. I really think it's just, maybe it's because it's all pinks and reds. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. This is using a pencil called Artlicious, which I don't even know if those are still out there anywhere. They're not the best pencil. They're definitely a value brand pencil, but they work really well on this paper. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this page. I didn't do a background either because I didn't think it needed it, and I think it just turned out really pretty. Yeah, so that's one. The next one is this one, which I adore. This is using one of my favorite pencils that I need to use more of, the Speer Farben pencils. Yeah, it's just pretty. I just like it. I don't remember why I went with that specific palette with the oranges and the yellows and the pinks. I think maybe I was trying to use oranges more because I don't use orange very often unless it's like Halloween. But I don't know. I can't remember. But I really like the way that that looks. So that is one of them. I really like the bokeh, the little bokeh effect that I have going on in their background as well. Just little circles here and there. Yeah, that was a fun one. Then we've got this one. Which one? This one was super fun to color. These are using my Arteza pastel pencils. And then I put a coating of stickles. Hopefully you can see some kind of shine from that, the glitter at some point. Yeah, this one was really fun to do, really simple. And then I just continued like with little bubbles kind of in the color that would extend out from where the wings are. Yeah, I just thought that was really pretty. It was a fun one, and it was a fun idea to blend and try to get all of the different colors in there. And the pastel, the Arteza pastel pencils worked really nicely. They blended really nicely on this paper. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. There's that one. And then, nope, we got two more. So this one was done using Neocolors. I used my Neocolors to do like a base layer on everything. And then I came in with my Arteza pencils and added shading in between the leaves and then on the wood and like on the vines and stuff. And then I used my Cosmic Spirit watercolors to do the telescope there, added some fun star trails with my Posca, and yeah, that one turned out really fun. I like this one a lot. It was super cute, super fun to do, super quick to do too. And then last but not least is this one. So these are using the Couleur colored pencils. And I wanted something a little bit different than what I would normally do. Because normally I would just go in with like a bright pink for the flamingos. But since it was September, I wanted something, I wanted something a little bit more leaning towards fall. So I wanted to add in a little bit of orange. So I did. And so I get like this orangey pink color. And actually, I think that's pretty close to what flamingos look like in real life, more so than like the bright pink that I would normally color them. But I thought this one turned out really cool. And I only did like a little bit of a background and left the rest of it bare. And I think it works. I think it's a good palette for this page. Yeah, it kept my flower colors really limited, just to like 3 or 4 different colors. And then mixed and matched through that. And I think it works really well. So yeah, so those were my favorite pages from my coloring planner this year. I will not be buying one of these next year. I am instead going to be focusing on Johanna's books throughout the year. So yeah, there'll be more about that in an upcoming video, but I did enjoy the first several months of coloring in this, for sure. And I enjoyed seeing everybody's pages throughout the year that participated in that color. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, next we're going to talk about my top 5 favorite new to me books. I think these all came out this year, but I could be wrong. But I got them all this year. So yeah, let's just get started. My first is the 50 Woodland Miniatures by Camilla Angelkova. I think this book is so cute. It just made me happy when I got it, and I immediately colored a page in it. I do have a couple of whips in here as well, but this is the page I colored. Look how cute. I love this little turtle camper. He's so cute. But some of the pages, they're just, I don't know, something about it really just made me happy. So yeah, I didn't color in it as much as I wanted to, but this is one I can color in year round. So hopefully, well, definitely when I finish my 50 Farmers Miniatures book, this one will be the next one that I'm going to kind of focus on like that, because it's adorable. So yeah, so that is one of my favorites new to me this year, 50 Woodland Miniatures. The next one is A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. This one I love. I did a color along out of this one this year. I mean, it's just such a cute book. I really love all of the pages. They're just adorable. This is the color along I did this year, which is one of my top 9 from Instagram this year. People really seem to like that one. And I really liked the color palette and everything. And there is, like I said, there's a color along for this on the channel. Really loved it. And then I do have another one finished in here. This one here. Which again is just too cute. But yeah, there's so many in here that I wanted to color, and I just kind of got overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know what to color first. But yeah, it's so cute. And every time she comes out with a book, I'm just like, oh, this is the cutest one. And then I was like, nope, the next one comes out. I'm like, oh, this is even cuter. She just keeps getting better, and I just love them. Next is Tiny Worlds by Matt Edwards. So this one, like I said, I don't know if this was new this year, but I kept seeing it, and Amazon kept recommending it, and I was like, fine, I'll just try it. And it came, and it's awesome. And like, it's so cool. Just the ideas that he had, and the sense of humor throughout the book. I have several whips in this that are all started with alcohol markers that I have not gotten back to finish. But it's so cool. Just the whole premise is so neat. And every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, that might be my favorite page. And then I'm like, nope, that one's my favorite page. And then, yeah, it's just really, really cool. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. And I didn't see very many people actually coloring it. I did see it on a lot of people's channels, but I wanted to see more finished pages in this, but I haven't finished my pages either. But yeah, so hopefully this is one I can work on a little bit more in the coming year, because it's amazing. It's so cool. So that is Tiny Worlds by Matt Edwards. I love it. Next is Magical Earth by Joseph Kattenbang. This came out, and I knew I was going to like it because it's Joseph Kattenbang and I like all of his stuff, but it's so pretty. Like, it's so pretty. And I do have one finished page. So I've got this moose page, which I finished, I think, in November. Yeah, I just had a blast doing it. Used my Black Widows on this page, and or the paper, and it felt nice to use them on this paper. So this is one where the Black Widows got used quite a bit. I just love the palette. I just thought it was so cool. Anyway, that's the only one that I've done in here, but just flipping through it, there's so many that I'm drawn to. So that was one that I really wanted to do. There was another couple in here that I really loved. This one, I really liked this rhinoceros one. Yeah, he just knocked it out of the park with this one. Thought it was so cool. This is the only one that I wouldn't know how to color, but I can see some super creative artist person doing wonderful with this. I bet that this would be gorgeous if somebody other than me could figure out how to color it. Yeah. And I've seen several people post pages from this book, and it's just, they're always gorgeous. This is another one that's beautiful. I think Shelly from Shell's Coloring Journey did this one, and so yeah, that's a gorgeous one. Yeah, I just love it so much. Just stunning book. There's one I started, but again, haven't been able to get back to it. So yeah, beautiful book. Love his work. But yeah, this is one of my most favorite new books from this year. And then last but not least is Furballs. I don't think this one came out this year, but I got it this year and I adore it. I have colored so much in it. Not so much, but I mean, it's kind of a lot for me. Like, I just started coloring in it and then kind of didn't stop. I just kept going. I was like, oh, this is really fun. This is the book that I was talking about when I said that I was using my Inktense a lot, because all of these are done with pretty much only Inktense, maybe a tiny little bit of pencil here and there, but mostly Inktense and then some Posca or some kind of sparkly bits. But yeah, I love this book, and I'm so glad it's mine. And it did make me go buy all of her other books that I could get my hands on. Of course, I haven't colored in any of those because I'm still coloring in this, but this one is staying on it stays close to me or in my travel bag with my Inktense, so that if I feel the need to color in it, I can just start. Because it's small enough, I can do it anywhere, and I just think one of the awesome things about it. So yeah, Furballs by Diane Dufour is one of my most favorite books from this year. All right, so next section. Okay, so next up are my most colored artists from this year. So these are the ones that I just kind of reached for over and over, and yeah, I don't know what it was about them, but these are the artists that I really loved to color this year. So first up, of course, is Camelia Angelkova. So this book is one of the ones that I would like to finish eventually. I'm getting closer and closer thanks to the help of my coloring buddy Megan from Disney Meg's Coloring. And yeah, I did a ton of work in this book this year. I've had so much fun coloring in this and using my creativity as best I could to get pages done in this book. It's just made me so happy to work in this. And yeah, so this is one of my most colored in artists, specifically because of this book. Actually, I do have a few other pages like that turtle you saw, and then I did one in I think like the Jungle Book that she has, but mostly it's been in that 50 Farmers Miniatures book. Next would be the Hannah Lynn. So actually, I got my numbers. So actually, this is my most colored artist. So Hannah Lynn's the most colored. Camelia Angelkova has about 12 pages done. And then we'll save her for last. We'll save her for last. So next would be, a couple of, well, you just saw this one. You just saw this book. So this is another one where I have 12 pages done. And these are all done this year. Like I said, Inktense, just had a blast with it. Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite double page, or my favorite 2 pages that I did. It's really cute. It's such a cute book. So yeah, so this one, Diane Dufour, has 12 pages colored as well. Let's see, we've got from Yana Prosperina, I've got a couple of examples here. I did 10 pages in some of Yana's books, so I know I did a couple of witches from her. I did this fairy, which is one of my favorite pages. I love this page. The other thing that I really like is I went through and I printed up all of Yana's original artwork that I could find and then assigned, figured out which books they went in and put them in there. So if you look at the page that I did, so here's mine and here's Yana's version. So I tried to copy-ish, like the idea that she had for the background, where the butterflies and these stones kind of receded into the background. And I really liked the yellow light around this golden pod I don't know, seed pod, whatever it is, seed lantern. But I did the same thing. And then I just kind of went with a different color palette on the fairy itself, but really tried to recreate kind of the background and yeah, just fell in love with that. But that's something that you can do. Like if you see an image and you're just not sure how to color it, look up the artist's original work and take inspiration from it. And yeah, you can just try. So like this one, I would never think to color it like this, you know, like it's gorgeous, but I can imagine it like this and it's just being stunning. So yeah, I'm excited to keep playing with that. I also did that same kind of thing in this book. So in the back here, I've got all of the images that go in this book. But I did a few in here this year. I think this one was one of them. I think that one is not. This one is another one that I did this year. And this is another one of my favorite pages. I love it. One more? No, I think that's it. Yeah. I think I was going to do one of these for fall and I just didn't get back to it. But, yeah. So, yeah. So I did 10 pages in different Johanna books. Honorable mentions would be Rita Berman. So, just a couple of examples of work that I did this year in her books. I did this half of this double page spread, but it's really, really pretty. I really like the colors that I used. And this is mostly Inktense, so I'll be able to use similar colors over on this side to kind of recreate at least the water, and then use like, you know, the oranges and the pinks and stuff on the fruits and the flowers. Yeah. But I think that's so cool. It's such a neat double page spread. And then I was inspired to do the double page spread in this one too, in the fall book. So here is that one. And this one, I love this one too. There's so much sparkle on it. I love it. And then I did a couple others in here. I did that one and that one. This one was mostly pencils. So you can really see the difference between the vibrancy of like the Inktense pages and the ones where I just use pencil. Like it's still a nice page. It's not like it's not, but the vibrancy of the Inktense I think is really what sells it. So yeah. And then I had plans to do the veggies and I didn't end up doing that. And then I did start another one, but I never got back to it. So we'll see if that one gets finished maybe next fall. But yeah, love this book. Those are older ones. But yeah, so those are a couple that I did in the read. I also worked a little bit in Europa. I did one in, I think the Asia book maybe this year. So yeah, so I did 7 in my Rita books. And I did 7 in the different varieties of Joseph Kattenbang books. So this one has 1 finished that I did. So I finished this one at the beginning of the year. Again, love the way that this one turned out. Worked really hard to try to make this gold face look like it's like a real clock face. Yeah, liked that one a lot. I did this one this year in the Wild Winter, which is another one of my favorites, I think. And then in Odyssey, I finished another one. This one. This one's called Tree People. And I just think it's so cool. This coloring the city over here kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. So it took me a little while to figure out how I wanted to do that. But when I looked at this, I knew I wanted these turtles to not be green. I wanted them to be some kind of weird color. So I went with this peachy orange color. And then that kind of decided what the rest of the color palette was going to be on the page. And I think it's such a cool page. Such a cool page. So yeah, so 7 in Joseph Kattenbang books, and then Lulu Mayo is another one. So I did about 15 pages in some of her books. Of course, in A Million Magical Creatures, I've got several done this year. Well, not that one. I did a really cute one in the Llamas book, which I think is a color along on the channel. So if you like that one, you can check that out on the channel. I finished a double page spread in the Mermaids book, which I really like the way that one turned out. I think I finished that one too. Both of them turned out really cute. Did I finish one of the sloths? I don't think I did. I think I had one marked to finish, and I started another one. So no, nothing finished in that, but I did finish a couple in here, or at least one. I did these cute little owls, which I love the way that that one turned out. Did I do another one in here? Nope. And then, of course, you just saw the ones in A Million Monsters. I'll give you another peek. So there's that one again, and this cute little guy. So yeah, so that's just a sample of some of those. So I did 15, like I said, in those. And then in the Hannah Lynn, I did 21 Hannah Lynn pages. Now, not all of them are in here. I did a few in, or at least one in the Christmas book, and then one in maybe the Fancy Faces or whatever. I don't remember what the name of the title is, but the majority of them were in this book. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this book here in a little bit, but I'll just kind of give you a quick flip through. Definitely worked a ton in this book this year. Loved it. Had just a blast working in this, and it's all thanks to the Enchanted Faces coloring group that I'm part of, and I love seeing the pages that those ladies come up with, and yeah, just knowing that there are some other people out there that are coloring the same page as me is always a help. Always a help. So yeah, so that's from Enchanted Faces, and those Hannah Lynn pages, like I said, 21 Hannah Lynn pages this year, which is a lot for me. So overall, I colored about 147 pages. So according to my records, but you know, I'm not always exact. I don't write everything down, especially on the months where it's hard for me to use my planner. But from what I can remember and from what I've written down, 147 pages with 38 different artists represented. So I think that's a pretty good span of artists and a pretty good number of pages for the year. So yeah. Okay, so next we're going to talk about some of the whips that I have that I wish I could have finished. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, so I do have a few whips that I want to just kind of remind myself, I guess, that are here and waiting, and I really liked the way they were going, and I can finish them. Like this is my reminder to myself that these are worth finishing. So I've got a couple in Romantic Country. These were actually on my list last year, and I still haven't finished them. So the first one is this Henry's book page. I gotta get it done, and I don't know what is stopping me. It's really, it's upsetting because it's such a cute page, and I just haven't been able to finish it. So this is one that I want to finish this year for sure. Basically any of these pages in Romantic Country, because I do have, you know, I've got a little bit of marker on almost all of them, so those could all be counted as whips. And then this is the other one that's really close to being done, and I just need to finish. Like really, it just needs a few little things, like the shading on the wood here, the frames, the curtains, the chandelier, and a couple of pillows. Like that's it. Like I can do it. Like I did like my own thing. I made I used a stencil and did a cool floor. I drew in my own pinstripes for the wallpaper here. So yeah, I just need to finish it. And there's another one in here that's almost done that I have not finished yet either, and it's the cogs. So, and I have my colors written down, so I just need to get back in here and do it. So any of the ones from here I would love to finish. So that's one. You saw this one just a minute ago. So all of these ones that I have started in this Tiny Worlds book, definitely would like to finish. This one being my top priority, I think, because I just love the way this is looking so far. And I think once I start adding the pencil shading, it's just going to be gorgeous. And this is another one I would love to work on. I get a little overwhelmed when all of these villages are like, when there's so many different houses and stuff, and I don't know how to make them not just look like one big blob of color. So I've got this color palette here that I'm going to try to use, and we'll see how it goes. But I really love this page, and then this one too. So yeah, so any of the ones from Tiny Worlds, these are all ones that I want to work on hopefully towards the beginning of 2024, or ones that are just like should just be finished. Like, you could do it. Another one I have is in the Forest Girl coloring book by April. I started this one. I really like the way that it's going so far. Yeah, I just need to do her and the little leaves here in the ground. I love the way that the leaves ended up turning out and the background. I think I did a pretty good match to the background over here. So yeah, I would love to continue working on that. So that is one. I have another one in Odyssey that I really want to finish. This one's almost done. And it's this guy here. So I started this I did like a Color Asia in August hashtag this year. So I did a lot of like Asian artists or pages that are like Asian inspired. And this one was a double. It worked for both of them since he's an Asian American artist. But I thought that this was really just a really neat page. And then I started coloring it, and I just got overwhelmed by all of the little bits and pieces. But I've got things blocked out with color now, so I just need to get back in with my shading. That's all I got to do. Like, the stairs are done. All this greenery up here and the trees and these flags, all of that stuff's done. It's just this stuff and the character. It's like, that's what needs to be colored. And then hopefully, yeah, so hopefully this is when I can finish pretty quickly. I just love it though. I love it. I think it's so cool. Yeah, so that's fun in Odyssey. And this is one of my favorite books. So I always like to color in that book. And then last but not least, I do have a beautiful whip here in the, what is it? Yururi Mouse sketchbook, I think. I started this page, and I love what I did so far. Like, I think it's super cool. And I just kind of got stuck. Yeah, and so I've just got to finish it, but I don't really know what to do next. But I love it. I really do. I think it's neat. Just got to finish it. So yeah, so those are the whips that I wish that I had finished this year, and ones that I really would like to finish in the coming year. So yeah. Okay, so next I want to talk a little bit about my list of books to finish from 2023. So I started the year with this list right here. Decided that I was going to do all of these books. I was going to try to color in them, like focus on those books throughout the year. And I did pretty well on a couple of them. Some of them were definitely misses. And then 3 books just kind of took over. So they were added to the list. So I didn't finish anything. I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't finish anything in Romantic Country all year, which just makes me sad because I love Aerie. I am currently working on one. I've only just started the sky there. The marker work was already done, but I want to do this one for the winter, one of my winter pages this year. So yeah, so that is one that I'm working on. But I do think that that is going to be removed from the list for next year. I haven't decided exactly. I'll come out with a new list and we'll talk about it in a whole new video, but I wanted to give you guys an update on, you know, how this went. So also, Nice Little Town 6, I didn't do anything in this book either. I worked in it so much last year and had so much fun, and then I started one page and never went back to finish it. So yeah. So that one's probably, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to keep that in or not. I love the Nice Little Town books, but I don't know. I don't know on that one. Next is the Jashley fantasy book. I don't know why I can't color this book. There's so many cool pages in it, and I really love this art style, and I have a couple of whips going already. I just couldn't get back to it. So I think this one's probably going to come off the list, which makes me sad, but there you go. Okay, so in Daydreams, I did finish one page. So I did finish this fishy. So before I just had the background done, and I think some of the design drawn in, because this is one where she had, like, this side was drawn in the design, and then you were supposed to draw your own patterns on this side. So I did on this one. I really like the way the fish turned out. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah. So I did at least finish one page in Daydreams. This one's staying though, because this book is half finished, and I only have the back half of the book to finish now. So this one's going to stay on, whether or not I get pages done in it or not. It's going to stay for sure. Next is Fairy by Johanna Planner. I did a couple in this one, which I think you've seen already. I did that one. Did I do more on that one? I can't remember if I did more. I did this beautiful one, this one, and then, is that it? Yeah, I only did 2 in this one this year. But again, this is one that I'm probably going to take off the list. I would like to continue to work on my Johanna pages, but I don't know that this is one that is going to stay on that list, because I just don't reach for it as often as I used to. All right, next up was Europa. This one I did do 3 pages in. So I did these 2 pages, which I like the way that those turn out, especially as a double page spread. I think it's really fun and cute. And I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Oh, and this one. This is the other one I did this year. And this one and the tulips were buddy colors. This one I colored on my own. But I think that's the only way I'm going to get pages done in this Rita Berman book, is by doing them with buddies. So if you want a buddy color in any of Rita Berman's books, let me know, and we can set something up, because I need help with these books. I love them. I don't know. I think I get intimidated by the options, the amount of pages to choose from, maybe. I don't know what it is. I love her books, love her artwork, but just didn't get to this one. Same in Botanicum. I only did 3 pages in this book. And I think I have them all. I think I know. So I did this one. This is a color along on the channel, and I did this using all Crayola products. So I used some Crayola markers, not only just like straight coloring on the page, but also as a watercolor in the background, which was really fun. And then I used Crayola colored pencils to do all the shading. But yeah, I thought that turned out really pretty. Then I did another page, which I didn't love, but it's finished. I just have to find it. Sorry, I should have marked this. Where are you? This one. I don't know what it is about it. I don't love it, but it's a finished page, so it counts. But yeah, so that's one. And then the other one was this one. This is another one where I did like value brand pencils. I can't remember what pencils they were. But this is one where like I had gone crazy on this page with this background. And so like you can see on some of the other ones, there's a bunch of ink got everywhere. But this one was almost, it was a lot. So I did a whole big black background, so it would kind of focus all of your attention on this center, and really like the way that turned out. I like the colors. I used I think Crayola markers again, and I don't remember what pencils though, but they were value. I know they were value brand. But yeah, so those are the 3 I did from Botanicum this year. And then from Portrait of the Mermaid, I did 5 of these. And I have some really awesome ones that I just love. So I did this one this year, which I love that one. I did this one, another one that's awesome. This one. This one. That one. Is that it? Yeah, I think the others were done. So this book is really close to being done. Again, I think for that reason, it's going to stay on the list, as I feel like I could finish this up next year. So, yeah, love this book. Love some of the pages in there a lot. A Million Magical Creatures, I colored 9, it seems like. Oh, that seems like a lot. So I did these 2, which I really like the palettes on both of those. Those are both colored in fall. I did this one, which is really fun. I like the shiny unicorns and metallic watercolor everywhere. I liked that one. I did both of these, which this one turned up as one of my most liked on Instagram. So I thought that was pretty cool. No, that one was last year. Was it last year? Yeah, I think that was last fall. I think this one was this year. Which again, like a monochromatic look and fun, sparkly, shiny bits. I always like to do that on her pages. I did this one this year, which was a bit of an experiment, but I saw these mountains and they made me think of like Dr. Seuss, kind of. So I really wanted to just play with it and go and have fun. The only thing I knew was that I wanted this big guy to be green, and then I just kind of went from there. But I really liked the way that it ended up turning out. I thought it turned out cute. I did this one, which is one of my favorite pages, just for the amount of sparkle. So I'm hoping I'm going to move this around really slowly just so you can see all of that shine and shimmer. It's so fun. There's so much sparkle on that page. Yep, and I did this one. So, I mean, you can tell this one was colored in fall. This one was colored in spring. Again, a lot of sparkle and shine on this one too. And the beard and like on the raindrops are all sparkly. They all have like gel pen on them. And then the last one is this one up front. I did that around New Year's at the beginning of the year with all the, I thought it would be appropriate for them. So yeah, there's those. And then, of course, the books that took over were Enchanted Faces, which I've already shown you a lot of the ones in there. The 50 Farmers Miniatures, which I took over a lot. These are both staying. And then Fur Balls is another one that's going to be coming in, I'm sure, because these all are books that I can reach for that are fun. And yeah, I don't feel too much stress and too much pressure with these guys. My favorites, so let's, in Enchanted Faces, I did, what did I say? I can't remember. Seems like I did 21 in here, but I don't know if that's true. So here's one. We'll kind of just flip through these really quick. I do have a couple videos on my Instagram of like flip throughs of these guys, but just so you can see what I've done. So there's these ones, and I've been dating these so that I know when I colored them. So these were all in 2023 that I finished. That one. This is the one for this month, so it doesn't have a date yet, but I really like the way she turned out. This one was... This is another one that turned up on one of my most liked pages, which surprised me. But, I mean, she's pretty, but it was, yeah, just a little surprising. This one, I really like the color palettes and her freckles. I think they're so cute. This one, this weird lion girl that I did, or tiger girl that I did. but she's fun. This one. Cute little otter page. This one here. Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, I really experimented with skin color and hair color, and like especially with this one, like lighting effects and stuff. I think I finally have like the noses like under like how I want to do them for her faces. I think they all turned out pretty cute. This next one, I don't love the skin so much, but I like the hair color and I like the little walrus. So the skin, I just was trying to make it sparkly and it just didn't, it didn't work. So she just has dots everywhere. But yeah. So all of these were this year. That's a lot. I feel like I did quite a few. Oh, I really liked this color palette as well. Again, freckles. I really like the freckles on these girls. This one had been a whip, and I just decided to finish it up because we hadn't picked a page for that month, I think. And so that one was a whip, and then the same for this one. And then this one. So yeah, I've got a lot done in here. It's staying. We already flipped through Furballs, so I won't do that again. And then I'll kind of flip through the 50 Farmers books. I did, looks like 12 in this book this year. About one a month. I did not date these, but I know which ones I did this year. So I did that guy. I did the hen and the chicks. I did this cute little goat. I love him so much. He's so cute. I did the turkey. This is a sneak peek for my completed pages for December. This is my Christmas goose page. I added in this little wreath around the background and did like a fun bokeh effect and dressed them all up. Added little floral things to their hat and their pattern on the dress and a little boutonniere for his lapel. Yeah. But you can see what I mean. Like I got a little creative in the backgrounds, and that's what I like this book for. Like the images are so simple that I can do those and be done with them and then focus on something creative somewhere on the page. Like this month I wasn't really feeling super creative, so I went pretty simple and I just added a couple of little bushes. But yeah, other months I was feeling a little bit more so. I really like the color palette on this one. I really like the way that one turned out. Let's see, not that one. I did that one where I added in her flower crown, which that one turned out really cute. And there was only a pole on one side. I can't remember which side I drew and which side was already there. I might have drawn in this side. I can't remember, but yeah. There's that. And then the love bugs, which are really cute. I thought, I didn't even think, she's probably carrying a basket of peas because they're in a pea pod, but I thought it was chocolates and it was Valentine's Day and I decided they were love bugs. So she has a basket of chocolates. And then the last one was this cute little bunny. Again, a more simple background, but still something kind of fun and creative. Yeah. So that's kind of my update on my books to finish. I am going to be doing a video specifically about that for the next coming year at the beginning of January. So be on the lookout for that. And then the last section of this video is going to be about my favorite pages of the year. All right, so I know this is a longer video, but we're almost done, so bear with me. These are my favorite pages of the year. Not necessarily the ones that got the most love on like Instagram or anything. These are just the ones that I loved doing the most and the end result of the most. So first one is in Portrait of a Mermaid. I loved this one. I loved the way that the palette came together. The colors just, it's just a beautiful page. I feel like it just turned out so well, and I was very proud of it, and just kept smiling every time I added a new color in. So that's one of them. And like I said, this book is staying in my books to finish, so hopefully I'll have some more favorites in this book for the end of next year. But yeah, I love this one. Love that page so much. I actually have two from Johanna Planner, which you've seen both of them already, but I will show you again really quickly. We kind of talked about this one. Just love the way that this one turned out. It's beautiful. I had a blast doing it, trying to figure out how to push some of these elements into the background, how to bring her forward a little bit more, how to get this really beautiful, like, iridescent look on her skirt. Yeah, just had a lot of fun, and how to get this magical effect in the background, because I didn't want to use water mediums on this paper. So this is chalk pastel and colored pencil, I believe. Yeah, so yeah, really had fun. Love this page. The other one, next one in my Johanna favorites, is the lovers page. So this one, this reminds me of two characters from my beloved Critical Role, Vax and Keyleth. So I colored them like them, and enjoyed every second of this page too. I wish I could remember what pencils I used for this, because they worked really well, and I didn't use any alcohol markers. But I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But I love the end result. I think it's really cool. Vibrant. The skin tones worked really well. I love this. Love this page. Love, love. The next one would be in Wild Winter, and it's the tiger page that I showed, which is here. I just thought it was really fun. I really liked the way the tiger turned out. I liked the sparkly gemstones in the background. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see the sparkle on them, but they're very shiny. Yeah, I thought this one was really cool. One of my favorites of the year. Again, just like the purple and the orange and this little pinky color kind of thrown in, and I just thought it was cool. The next one that I really loved doing was in Cosmic Spirit, and this is the lovers page. And it was part of a color along, I think. I believe it was a page that we had picked as a group, or somebody picked, I can't remember, but it's this one. And it's, I think, just the vibrancy again, the contrasting blue and yellow, the blue turtle instead of a green sea turtle. I thought that was a really cool thing. And these yellow jellyfish just really pop off the page against the blue. So I think that's just the high contrast of it just makes me smile. And I like my characters. I thought that they turned out really cool too. So yeah, so that's one. And then my top favorite, and Instagram's top favorite as well, was in Geomorphia by Kirby Rosanis. And this is a color along on the channel as well. And it's this one, this giraffe page, which I had a comment from the lovely Shannon from Color and Craft with Shani Blue. She said, I watched this and I still don't know how you did it. And I'm looking at it now, I'm going, I did that and I don't know how I did it. It turned out so neat. And I can't remember exactly what I did, but I love it. And it turned out, like I said, just cool. But yeah, this is the most loved image on Instagram, on my Instagram account, and this was my favorite page of the year. And last year I also had my Kirby Rosanis page was my favorite page of the year too. So I need to do more Kirby. I think that's the key. Or maybe I just do a few and they turn out really awesome and then they end up being my favorite. I don't know. I don't know which one's the right way, but yeah. So there we go. That's my wrap up for the year. I know this was a longer video. thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and spending time with me and being here the whole year. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to so much fun in 2024. So yeah, Happy New Year. Good wishes to all of you out there. And until next time, I'll see you later.